Lenovo is finally upgrading their Yoga 7 series with much better design and of course new better hardware equipment. In terms of design, there is not much to talk about here, but they make it thinner and lighter than before and make it easier to hold right now on tablet mode. For powering the entire system, now they give us of Intel Core i5 from Kaby Lake refresh generation that should do the job very well on taking care everything. With the price tag around $1,200, this is probably the worthiest 2-in-1 machine you could get right now for your money. I actually have waited for a few months for getting on this laptop, but unfortunately I am so disappointed with some of its features. The keyboard is now shallow and the battery itself is lower than I expect. The improvement on performance is there, but Lenovo forgets to enhance another sector on this case. I think it's better for us to take a look inside and see how it works on us. That is what we are going to talk about here. Without further ado, let's jump into the article. Design and connectivity. The overall look is not really my favorite here, but the build actually is pretty impressive. Incomparable with its predecessor that I reviewed few months ago, the company still puts up the similar plain metal design to all of its body. The detail is so minimal here and there is only the company logo placed at its lid area. One thing that I really love here is the build. The flex is minimal and the lid area is impossible to twist even when giving some amount of power. The overall material selection is top-notch and you probably know that Lenovo is always better at this case. Moving into its interior area, you take a look into a 13.3-inch screen that's surrounded in very thin bezel. The bezel is almost nowhere and using it in tablet mode feels so good because what see here is only the content. The same design treatment continues here, but here Lenovo puts a keyboard deck in gray finishing for making a difference. As for the connectivity, the port selection is limited here. There are only two USB Type-C Thunderbolt 3 ports, single USB 3.0 port, and another 3.5mm audio jack. Thankfully, one of Thunderbolt 3 port is allowing you for charging in case you want more battery during your travel. Keyboard and display. The notable change is found its keyboard that now only features of 1.1mm travel key. For some users the 1.1mm travel is too shallow and leading to uncomfortable and stiff experience. The keys have a nice and tactile response and feedback, but once again it takes time to get used with it here. I managed to type around 95 words per minute during my test and the result is not bad although my error rate is quite high around 2%. For the backlit support, I think the backlighting is bright enough for low light or dark condition and feels so helpful on this case. Well, the keyboard is not perfect, but relatively great for daily usage. As for the display, the 13.3-inch IPS panel looks great on producing and showing the images. Unfortunately, some colors are not accurate for some reasons and doing calibration is needed here for a professional usage. For daily usage itself, I never find any problem here as the details and everything are better than my expectation. It produces relatively dim brightness at 282 nits which is low, but still capable of delivering 118% of sRGB that looks impressive. I guess the one need improvement here is the brightness as some users would expect it to be brighter. Performance and battery. The hardware specification is pretty much similar to other premium devices where Lenovo adds of Intel Core i5 8250U processor, 8GB RAM, and 256GB SSD. The Core i5 is not the fastest processor available right now, but of course they will add better specification for later. As for now, this is the configuration I have for this review. On testing the performance with Geekbench 4, I am getting a 12,885 score during the performance test. In real-life test, I never find any problem on running the application. Moreover, Lenovo puts a fast SSD storage here. It successfully transferred 4.87GB file in only 17 seconds. The speed easily beats its competitors as the average speed for them is only around 277 megabytes per second. If you look for power and portability, then you are in good way here. My biggest complaint found here is on battery support. Getting 7 hours is the maximum usage I always get here. I try to put the brightness into 150 nits or 50%, but the difference is not shown much here. I have seen similar devices offering bigger battery life, but sadly the thing is completely missing here. The only solution here is charging the battery through its USB Type-C with your battery pack. It means carrying the power bank as necessary during your travel. Like their habit, I think the company would add bigger battery capacity, but we do not know when it's happened. Final thought. The Yoga 730 is still my favorite choice in 2-in-1 laptop category even in 2018. In order to make it thinner and lighter, they make some sacrifices on port connectivity and of course the battery capacity. Bigger battery means a bulkier design here, and Lenovo decide to cut it little bit here. That is only my big complaint here that might make many users getting away from it. The overall performance and design are impressive, so better to look further into it. The choice is always yours, so feel free to take any consideration here. I just hope the information is good enough for you. At last, see you again next time.